Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the yet another tutorial of React. And in this tutorial, we will be looking into how to make use of the use effect hook. So first of all, this is the basic code which we have already seen in the previous tutorial. How we get the basic code when we create a repository. So in order to make use of the use effect hook, we have to import that use effect hook. So I will say use effect. I'll be importing the use effect, and already use state hook has been imported and kept over here. It is not required, but we can keep it if required. Okay. So let's just go ahead. So when it comes to the use effect hook allows us to perform the side effect in our component. Okay. So as of now, this is our app.jsx. This is the app component. Okay. So whatever code we write inside of this it will be considered as a code of the app component. So same way we can create a lot of components over here and we can import them. We will see that in the future. But as of now, let's just talk about the use effect. So when it comes to the use effect group, it is used to create the side effects in your component. And when it comes to the use effect, it is basically used to fetching some sort of data or directly updating the DOM or timers, which we will be seeing in the examples. So when it comes to the use effect, this is the basic syntax of the use effect. I will say use effect, and then it will basically have the two parts. When it comes to the first part over here, we have the you can say it's the functional part. This is the functional part, and the second part it has is the dependency. Okay, so as we go ahead, you will come to know what is this functional part and what is this dependency. So first of all, let me just show you the very simple example. So first of all, let me just create this functional part. So this is the very basic thing. So this is the functional part. And over here, we will have the dependency. Like it will be this use effect might be dependent on the some variable like the count or whatever that is. But let's not look into that as of now. So when it comes to the use effect, this is the functional part. And if suppose our use effect is in this format, this means it will this runs on every render. Okay, so every time this particular app.js component will be executed, this use effect will be running on every render. But if suppose I'm having the use effect like this, and this dependency part is basically like the empty array kind of a thing, then this will run only on the first counter. You can say runs on only first render. Okay, so this is how we can define the use effect which runs on every render and which runs on only first render. Okay, so if I give the console like I'm coming over here. So as can be seen, we are seeing the output of our both the use effects over there. Okay, so now let me just show you the execution of this use effect when it is dependent on any variable. So in our previous tutorial, we have seen how to make use of the use state. So I will make use of the same variable over here, count and the set count. I will show you how to do that. And inside of my render part, I will make use of the p tag. I will say this is the value of count, and in order to show the value of the count, I will copy the count over here and I will paste it. And it is showing this is the count, and count value is basically zero as of now. Okay, so now what I will do, I will make use of the button over here, and On click, what I will do, I will set the value of the set count, and I will say count plus one. So essentially saying, as I am clicking on this, I'm getting this output as a runs on every counter. Okay, so basically it is executing this part because as the UI of the app.jsx is changing, it is executing this use effect because it is not dependent on any variable, nor it is having this empty array. Okay, so now it has executed. I mean, it gave the console logs 6 times. If I click on this, it will give the seventh time. Okay. So this is how this use effect without empty array is working. Okay. So don't focus on this as of now. What I will do right now is I will show you how this dependency work. So now if suppose I want this use effect to execute whenever this counter variable changing, I can do that by keeping its dependency on this counter variable. Okay. So now whenever this counter variable is changing, it will give this console log. Okay. I will give the console log like count value has changed. Okay, so I'll come over here. So now it is saying count value has changed. Count value has changed. Let me just comment out this part because it is unnecessary giving the consoles. So it is saying count value has changed. This output you're getting because whenever I'm clicking on this button, this set count is changing the counter value. Okay, whenever this counter value changes, it is executing this particular part because this use effect is dependent on the count, and that's why I am getting this console log. So now what I can do, I can carry out some other functions also when this counter changes. So instead of giving the console log, I can create one more variable like carrying out some sort of calculation or something. I will say calculation and set calculation. Okay, and I will make use of the use state only, and I will again give the value as 0, and I will call out this set calculation function over here. And what I will do in the set calculation, I will carry out the calculation with the help of my count. Okay, so I will say count multiplied by 4 or something. Okay, and whatever is the value I want to display it, so I will come over here and I will do the printout like I'll say this is this calculated value. I'll give the calculated value over here. So now when I'm clicking on this, I'm getting the calculated value also over here. So this is how we can carry out the other operations if it is required. Okay, so this is the basic definition of the use effect we can use it to carry out some effects or execute some function based on the variable, or we can also make use the use effect to fetch the data from the APIs with the help of the Axios. I will show you all this example after this. So now what I will make use of the this thing Axios to fetch the data. So if we want to make use of the Axios, we have to install that package first. I will say npm I Axios, and it will install that Axios package. If we go to the package.json, now we can see the dependencies which are like Axios. Axios has been installed. So with the help of the Axios, now I'll show you how to fetch the data. Okay, so we will go to the top, and I will import the Axios over here. I'll say import Axios from Axios. So Axios has been imported in this particular component, and then I will fetch data from the Axios. So for that purpose, I will create one more variable. I will give the name of the variable as data, and I will say set data, and I will make use of the use state. And data is of mostly it's a type of the array. So I will give the default value as an empty array over here because I will be setting the data inside of that array. Okay. So now I will make use of the use effect hook over here, and then functional part I will write. So I will say axios dot get. I want to get the data from the specific route, and whatever is the URL you have to specify that over here. Okay. And after that what I have to do. Okay, so that I will define inside of the then part. So I will say dot then again I will catch the response of the data which has been fetched from the particular API response. Okay, so I will catch that response, and first of all let me just console log and show you all the data. Okay, I will say console log, and I will say here is response, and I will print my response, whatever response I'm getting from this API. So for that purpose, I will be making use of the JSON placeholder. So you can directly type it down over here. So I will say HTTP yes colon JSON placeholder dot com. To this. Okay, so let me just check it out. Yeah, so this is the website, and this is how it is giving the response. Okay, so it's get kind of API. So there are like API response APIs like the get, post, fetch, delete. So these are some of the APIs which you will see in the Node.js. But as of now, the only thing which you have to know is that this API point is giving me the this kind of data, which is like user ID, title, and completed as true or false, whatever that is. So what I will do, I will get the data, and I will console log over here. Okay, so now as can be seen, it's this is the response what I'm getting, which is having the lot of parameters like the status, data, header, request, everything. Which but we are interested in the data. Okay, so as can be seen, we are getting the data over here, which is almost 100 records we are getting. So now what we have to do, whatever data which we are getting, we have to set that data. Okay, so this is the complete response which we are getting. We can give the full name as a response. So let me just refresh. So this is the response we are getting, but we're interested in data. Okay, so I will say response dot data. Let me just refresh over again. So now we're directly getting the response data as can be seen over here. So what I will do, I will pick up the set data function over here, and I will paste it down below. And whatever is the response data what we are getting, we have to assign that data over here. Okay, so I have copy pasted that, and now what I will do, I will render this data from the console over here on my UI. So I will come over here, and let me just comment out this part. I will use a p tag, and I will say this is data fetch from API. Okay, so let me just show you. So I am getting that response over here. Let me just comment out the CSS. I will remove it. Okay. So we are getting it over here. Let me just remove this CSS also. Okay, fine. So this seems to be okay. So now what I'll do, I will come over here and I will make use of the unordered list. Okay, so I hope you will know the concept of the unordered and the ordered list. And after that, I will make use of the curly braces because I am directly displaying the data of the variable. Okay, so I will say data dot map. I will mapping the data and I will say items. And now I want to display these particular items in the form of the list. Okay, so I will say list items over here. And what I want to display is basically item dot name. I just hope it is item dot. Okay, so item dot title, not name. Sorry, item dot title. Why am I not getting the response? I don't want the data to be fetched every time, so I will give the dependency on the empty process. Okay, I'm sending the response dot data. I'm getting the data. I'm mapping the data in a form of an ordered list. I'm not getting the data. Okay. So since we have made use of the HTML over here, we have to use the circular braces. So now as can be seen, we are getting the output over here. So this is how we can fetch the data with the help of the use effect and render it with the help of the use state. Okay, so this is how we are fetching the data. We are doing the exist.get, we're getting the response, and then we are setting up the whatever is the response data. If suppose we want to show the status, so as can be seen, let me just show you all whatever response we are getting actually. Let me just show you all the whole response. So in the whole response, we are basically getting the data, header, request, and status. Status is 200. 200 is basically means the success. Okay. So when it comes to the developing the UI from the backend, we send the status as a 200 as success, 201 as a created and all. So this is also important. If you want to show the status also, we can show that as well. But this is how we can make use of the exist to fetch the data. So that's all about the use effect, guys. Thanks for watching.